Hi YouTube. With regards to a little bit of a mess I got myself involved in yesterday concerning the Quiet Atheist video about the 6-year-old boy whose parents had abused him, and there was some accusations made or possibly some claims made on their part that he was demon possessed, and my subsequent toss-up with Matt Bell in the comments section. I wanted to end this all on a high note. Matt Bell had made a 50-minute some odd response to my quick video response, and I spent some time last night and tried to make some notes and come up with a video response to that, and quite frankly it's too much of a cluster frack. I've already wasted too much time, and it's a video that's rife with him just making baseless attacks at my integrity, and essentially he just wants to sort of parade around saying, see, I was right, see, I was right, see, I was right. And so I'm going to abandon that project, partially because essentially here's a guy who wants to talk about balance in the discourse and then wants to equivocate atheism with Holocaust denial. Now, he'll say it's an evidential argument, but it's a clear and obvious poisoning of the well to use such an emotionally loaded topic. And he also wants to connect Stalin and Mao and Jeffrey Dahmer to atheism as sort of their roots. And so, as everyone who knows me knows, I reject that on either side of the fence. I think we're all too quick to want to claim those characters of history, those monsters, for our opposition. And I reject that, so I'm not going to bother with that. But what I do want to do is address the Quiet Atheist's video a little bit more thoughtfully than I did in my initial comment, which was really just a comment in passing in some ways. I'd watched his video and it reminded me of some things that I wanted to incorporate with something else I was working on, and I thought, that's awesome. So I said, great video, thanks for posting this. And then I went on to the body of my comment to say, you brought to mind some things that I need to incorporate, etc., etc. I hadn't really thought too much about some of the content of his video. And so really, this is going to be directed at you, Quiet Atheist, and I mean this in the most constructive criticism type of fashion that I can. Because you start your video, I actually don't have that much of a problem with the rest of your video. I mean, you may or may not have had a rush to judgment, as Mere Christian Logos said. I'll leave that to everyone else to decide for themselves. But what I want to focus on is your opening statement where you say that you have a hatred for religion and that you feel it has no place in society. That's what I'd like to talk about. I would like to challenge you to think a little bit and maybe be reflective and look inward when it comes to your use of the word hatred. I'm hoping you mean anger towards and not hatred of. That's what I'm hoping, because I think if you actually have hatred for religion, then I think that can be potentially harmful to you. That's the problem with hatred. I don't feel it has really any redeeming qualities. Hatred. I think it tends to be consuming. And unfortunately, even if you have hatred for someone who truly, deserves it, some sort of a monster, some sort of a horrible person, the hatred ends up consuming the wrong person. It ends up consuming you and not the person or the thing that you have it directed against. This is sort of the principle generally behind forgiveness, is there's a recognition that even if the person that we're forgiving doesn't in some ways deserve our forgiveness, and maybe doesn't even recognize how they've transgressed against us, that we need to release the hatred, because that hatred harms us. I think in some cases a great deal. Now, anger is a different story. I think anger can be a healthy emotion, especially anger towards someone who's transgressed against us, because I think it's an empowering emotion. It says, that was wrong, and I'm standing up for myself, and I'm not going to internalize what you did to me, that I maybe somehow deserved it, or that it was right or justified in some way. Anger is motivating. So when you feel anger towards these parents or anyone that would accuse someone of being demon-possessed and then act upon that, then you're motivated to do something. You're motivated to make angry videos. You're motivated to tell other people. You're motivated to maybe call the police if you suspect something is going on, that's untoward. So I think anger it can be a very positive emotion. Obviously, you want to make sure your anger is is adequately directed and is based on something sound. But I think anger can be a positive emotion in that it is empowering and that it motivates us to do, hopefully, the right thing. And so, Quiet Atheist, I really hope you take this the right way. I mean this in the most constructive way possible, because I really do believe that in any bad situation, there's always something that we can gain from it. I really just want to appeal to you to be reflective about that. If you'd like to talk about it ever, feel free to contact me, and we could either, communicate via email, or we could have a hangout or a private Skype chat. I would be fine with any of those. For everyone else, thanks as always for listening.